my gosh, look at the background. It looks like everything's all sideways and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. Wow, what a great start to this video, huh? Not the biggest fan of Zoom cameras, but I had to make it a special occasion. But what's up, everybody? TN Fanatic here. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. And welcome to my official prediction for the NFL playoffs. Yes, we are here. And I got some bold stuff. I got some bold predictions. I got some stuff to talk about. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I do have some notes off to the side because, I'm a professional like that. And this actually was the only, this was like the best kind of like online prediction bracket that I could find. Amazingly, the NFL, like, they don't have one of these brackets. Like, they don't have one of those brackets that like you can go through and you can like pick the teams to win and all that. I even checked ESPN, like none of them have it. Like, it's just crazy. You would think that they would, like all of like the NFL being like this like huge business. Like, you would think that they could at least put that in there somewhere on their website, but no. So yeah, this is the best thing that I could find. So thank you actually to sportskita.com for making this little bracket right here, so I can at least have something to show as a visual. But yes, the playoffs are here. Let's dive right in. So first matchup, let's talk about the first one that we are going to see. We got Texans taking on the Chargers. So, despite this year's AFC South being an absolute train wreck, the Texans, it hates me to say it, but give them credit. They rose above the ashes and they won the division, and now they are here. They're here in the playoffs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Honestly, at least in this round, like round one, I feel like facing the Chargers, like, that's not going to do these Texans any favors here. I think the Chargers, they have a strong tandem on both sides of the ball. They are a very complete team. I fully expect Jim Harbaugh to have his backs in place and his mid-range passing attack just ready for Stroud and the Texans' offensive pace, which, by the way, will be without Stephon Diggs and without Tank Dell. Plus, the Chargers, if we look at their defense, they have the best scoring defense in the league. So, like, I'm sure that will hold up. And now, as for Houston's defense, I do want to give them, actually, not really, but like, I feel like I have to give them a little bit of a credit. They've been okay against the run. So if they stop Dobbins and now Ezekiel Elliott, Elliott got signed to the Chargers, like, that's crazy. So if they stop those guys, there might be a chance, like slim chance, that this game could be closer than what some think. But honestly, if the Texans do hold up against the run, that might give Justin Herbert an even more of an incentive to have just more like deep field shots. So look for McConkey to have like a great day here. I think that he will. And plus, watching the Texans lose, like, that always makes me just thrilled. So give me the Bolts to advance. And you know what? I might as well do it now. Who's got it better than us? Nobody! Oh, man. I still don't know. That is a crazy say, but you know what? Like, it's better than those like Who Dey chants that the Bengals have. But by the way, shout out to Steven on Gridiron Chat. All right, now on to the Ravens taking on the Steelers. So, first and foremost, congrats to Pittsburgh, honestly, for making the playoffs. Mike Tomlin, he just continues to do it year after year, have winning seasons, and again, congrats to Pittsburgh on making the playoffs. But honestly, Like how can Steeler fans feel good about coming into the playoffs right here? I mean, they've lost four straight. Meanwhile, the Ravens have won four in a row. Now, if 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 somehow the Steelers pull this off, I feel like Russell Wilson, like he has to have himself a day, a huge day. You're throwing against a Ravens secondary that is pretty banged up. Now, talking about Pittsburgh's defense, I feel like overall, I feel like the game plan for them should be pretty simple, especially when playing the Ravens. Stop the run. Look, we all know that Jackson and we all know that Derrick Henry, excuse me, like they will get their chances. I mean, like they will use their running ability to impact this game. Now, in week 11, the Steelers defense did do a good job. Against the run. They held Henry to just 65 yards rushing and Jackson to 46 yards. So, Pittsburgh's defense, which is led by TJ Watt, he is a great player. They should hold up against the run, but what's really going to hurt Pittsburgh is, yeah, like it is their offense. Like it has been abysmal as of late, and plus, like the points just have not been there. And you know what? It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad for me to say because like I love good defensive teams. It is sad to say again that Pittsburgh, despite their defense possibly having a great performance, their offense, like I just don't see that improving. Anytime soon. So I will take the Ravens to win. All right, next up, we got the Bills taking on the Broncos. Hey, congrats to Denver, man, making the playoffs. And Bo Nix, great year that he had, man. Jaden Daniels, he is he is my pick for the offensive rookie of the year. But down the stretch, Bo kind of gave him like a little run for his money. And I give credit to Bo. He has a great player, Sean Payton. He has led the Broncos to the playoffs for the very first time since Peyton Manning back when he won the Super Bowl. Now, this might be like a hot take here. This game could be close. I'm not kidding. The Broncos, they have one of the best defenses in the entire league. They have arguably the best DB in the entire league in Patrick Surtain. Denver leads the league in sacks, and they know how to keep quarterbacks in the pocket, which is it's very important when you're playing the MVP favorite, Josh Allen. Now, speaking of Josh Allen, last year, when Allen played the Broncos that were led by Sean Payton in his very first year, Allen only had one touchdown and had two picks. So Sean Payton, he at least has a blueprint in how to shut down the Bills' offense. And I think that the Broncos game last year, I think that played a big role in the Bills letting go of their now former offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. So this Bills team this year, they are completely different and their offense is way better. Absolutely. Since offensive coordinator Joe Brady has taken over, I feel like the Bills, they have transformed into this great offensive attack that really relies on the run game. Hey, nothing wrong with that though. James Cook won over 1,000 yards for the second straight year. Congrats to him. Plus, if we are going to talk about the Bills head coach, Sean McDermott, for one moment, I think facing a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix in the playoffs, I feel like that's right in his wheelhouse. So Sean McDermott, he's 9-4 against rookie quarterbacks in the regular season. And just how he runs this defense right here, it has led those rookie quarterbacks to throw 7 picks to just 7 touchdowns. 17 interceptions to just 7 touchdowns. So yeah, plus in the playoffs, McDermott, he is 2-0 with the Bills defense holding rookie passers to 3 touchdowns and 4 picks. There we go. I got that. Sorry, I got that one right. So the Bills did it to Mac Jones in 2021, and then they did it again to Skylar Thompson in 2022. Plus, you combined the Bills having never lost a home game this year. I just think that it will be too much for Bo to handle. Again, congrats to them on a great year. But Von Miller, he will get his vengeance over his former team, and the Bills move on. All right, now on to the NFC. We have the Eagles taking on the Packers. This is a rematch from the very first NFL game in Brazil. So the Eagles, they won that game 34-29 all the way back in week 1. Saquon, he ran for 2 touchdowns and caught a third. That was the debut for him. Great performance. And that was the start of his great campaign, and it was also the start of this historic season for the Eagles. They have been, obviously, one of the top teams in the league all year long. But so have the Packers. Now, I want to say this. The Packers, they are, yes, like they are like the 7th seed. But if we break down their losses, they had 6 losses this year. If we break that down, so those teams that the Packers lost to, I did the research. They had a combined record of 46 and 19 this year. So breaking that down, of course they lost to the Eagles in week 1. Green Bay also got swept by the Vikings and also the Lions, and like we all know how good that those teams are. The only real blemish on that is that they had the week 18 loss to the Bears, where like they didn't even play most of their starters. Like Love was coming in and out. It was just crazy. But you know what? I wanted to say that. Like the Packers have earned their place here in the playoffs. They're 8th in the league in scoring, averaging 27.1 points per game. 5th in total yards with 370.5 per game. But what I think will hurt the Packers, especially in this game right here facing the Eagles, is they have struggled in the red zone this year, converting just 8.7% of their opportunities, which is 27th in the league. They're 14th in third down conversions with a 39.5%. And plus, what's even worse for them now is that Jordan Love, he is questionable for the wild card. Yeah, so like you combine that with the fact that the Eagles, talking about them now, they are 7th in the league in scoring. They average 27.2 points per game. They are a great team just all around. They are 8th in the league in total offense with 367.2 yards per game. And that ranking, also they rank 10th in third down conversions percentage with 41.7. And that's going to be too much for the Packers to handle, man. Philadelphia, they are going to melt that cheese and then put it on a cheesesteak sandwich and advance to the divisional round. All right, now we have the Bucs taking on the Commanders. Yet another rematch from week 1. Tampa, they won in that matchup. But obviously, we all know that was a completely different Washington team, compared to now. Again, as I stated before, Jayden Daniels, he is my pick for the offensive rookie of the year. And I assume a lot of other fans would agree with that statement. He has led Washington, the Commanders, who had the number 2 pick last year. He led them to 5 straight wins heading into the postseason. Now, it is also true that Tampa, they have been hot as well. I want to give them their due. A 6-1 record for the Bucs in the last 7 games. But if I may just dive a little deeper and break that down, only one of those wins was against a playoff team. That was against the Chargers back in week 15. And what was that one loss that Tampa had? It was against the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, and I also wanted to say this as well. Again, congrats to Tampa on winning the South for the 4th straight year. But in that final game against the Saints, Like they kept it close for most of that game. I was sitting there going, Tampa, like, what are y'all doing? Do y'all not want to make the playoffs? It was just crazy. Right? Sorry. So in that game, Spencer Radler, he had 240 yards passing and a rating of 85.4. So with that being said, if Radler's doing that, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Jaden Daniels, if he just goes off here. So give me the Commanders to win on the road. There it is. All right, now we have the Rams taking on the Vikings. Yet another rematch, man. It is crazy how all that turns out. Now, some recent news came out that this will take place in Glendale, Arizona, because of all of the fires going on in California. So first thing, like my thoughts and prayers go out to all those people who are suffering through that. Yeah, just like a terrible situation, and I just pray that all of those people are safe. Um, so talking about this game here with the Rams and the Vikings. So hopefully, here is what I'll say to start. Hopefully, in this game, if the refs see a face mask, hopefully they call it this time a round. So talking about that game, the last time that these two teams met, Darnold, he had 240 yards passing. Stafford had 279. So here in the playoffs, like another rematch here between two great offenses, it on paper, it looks like we are in store for another offensive shootout. But here's what gives me pause about picking the Rams to win. From weeks 15 to 17, the Rams averaged 14.7 points per game. This is the Rams, that's not good numbers. Like that's not up to their standard. And yes, I know that the Vikings, like they got beat by the Lions, stomped out by the Lions. But you know what? For that first half, like Minnesota's defense, they impressed me. Like they kept it close. Maybe there could have been a chance that they won, but the Lions, like they just took it to the Vikings. So I think if Minnesota, if they just improve their red zone offense, I feel confident in picking them to win and advance. Give me the Vikes to win and move on. All right, now on to the divisional round. First, let's do Ravens taking on the Bills. Now, if this matchup takes place, which is very possible, this should be very interesting. So these two teams, they did play before, back in week 4. And the Ravens, that was a big win for them. They won 35-10. And Josh Allen, he didn't have his best his best performance in that game. It wasn't his best. He was 16 for 29, had a QBR of just 32 and had no touchdowns. Cook, he only had 39 yards 39 yards rushing. So that could be problematic for them as well. Now, as for Derrick Henry, he had a field day. 24 carries, 199 yards, and one touchdown. And you know what? I'm not picking on the Bills right here, but I can fully see this game being close as well. Last round, I gave the Bills the edge because Bo is a rookie. Denver's been again like the Broncos. That'll be their first time in the playoffs in what seems like a very long time, but I just can't give them the edge here. So give me Derrick Henry and the Ravens to win on the road and advance. All right, now let's do Chiefs and the Chargers. So let me just say this: there is I have firm confidence that the Chargers could do this. They could pull it off. The Chiefs team, my gosh, Lady Luck has been on their side all year long. They've been involved in so many just one score games. One thing goes right or wrong, and the Chiefs win. It's just crazy. Both regular season matchups between the Chiefs and the Chargers were one score games. So this year's Chiefs team, it's definitely not as I would say deadly as teams in the past, especially in terms of their offense. But just I don't know what it is. I really don't. They somehow find a way to win. It's just crazy. Whether it's by the refs or just or like having balls just hit the upright or blocking kicks, I don't know what it is. I will give them the like I will say that Lady Luck has the Chiefs back at least for this round. And I'll say that the Chiefs win and move on. All right. Now, on to the Eagles taking on the Vikings. Let's talk about that. So, whoever wins this game, I feel like, to put it simply, I think it will come down to who wins on defense. The Vikings, the second best rush defense in the league this season, allowing just 1,588 yards this year. The Eagles, they have one of the best passing defenses in the league, only allowing an average of 6 yards per attempt. So if Saquon can overcome that and do his rushing thing, and if Hurts can just find ways to get out of the pocket and make plays, I do like the Eagles to win. In games like this where it does seem like to me where like it could be pretty close, I tend to go with the home team. But then, of course, I picked the Ravens to win. But come on, like Josh Allen in the championship game? Nah, I don't see it. So, but this time, I'll take the Eagles to win. Man, I can already hear Bills fans just drilling me, telling me that I'm an idiot. Hey, you know what? Yeah, like I mean, it is what it is. Y'all beat my team this season, so I mean, like I can take it. All right, now we have the Lions taking on the Commanders. So Washington, they had a great passing defense as well, allowing 25, just 25 passing touchdowns, excuse me, this year. Now, as for the Lions, talking about their defense, they have a great run defense, of course. So if Washington, if they are able to do this, if they are able to get this big time upset, I feel like Jaden Daniels, like he has to have himself a day. Um, if the Commanders can play like a complete game, honestly, on both sides of the ball, they could possibly pull this out. But here's the thing with these Lions. And like we saw this in week 18. They just know how to wear teams down. No matter the skill, no matter who they have on their team, the Lions and their grit mentality, it has taken full form and they have utilized it and they have won with it. Talking about that week 18 game for one moment, like the Vikings, again, they were within striking distance at the end of that first half. Yes, they failed to get some touchdowns in the end zone, but it was like a one-score game, I think. But then just after that, in that third quarter and then on, the Lions just took it to him. Gibbs, he had 23 carries for 139 yards and three touchdowns. Say Brown had some nice catches in there as well. The Lions, again, they have just perfected this just grit mentality. We are going to bite your kneecap off and all of that stuff. They keep coming at you, and I feel like it'll just be too much for Washington to handle. So I'll take the Lions to win and advance to their second straight NFC championship. All right, here we go. The conference title games. We got Chiefs taking on the Ravens, a rematch of last year's title game. If this happens, again, this should be like a great game between the Ravens and the Chiefs. It was a great game back in week 1. Now, for most of this video, I've used many statistics to make my picks. But there are times when I put that part of me down and I rely on the emotional side. I rely on my heart to make the choice. So that is going to be one of those times where I'm gonna go with my heart here. And look, I can't. I I cannot deal with the Chiefs being in a third strict Super Bowl. Like, I just cannot do it. I cannot do it. I refuse to believe it. If it becomes reality, I'm going to be super upset. But the Ravens, again, they were a team that came so close to beating them. Literally, they were a toe away from possibly, like a toe away from like tying that game and then like maybe winning it. They were right there. They've been waiting for this. They want their vengeance. I think finally they get it. Again, this will be an emotional pick, but it's one that I have to go with. I will take the Ravens to win and advance to the Super Bowl, baby. All right. But who will they play? Lions or the Eagles? So if this happens, you know what? Like if this matchup between the Lions and the Eagles takes place, again, which it very well could be, this again will be another great battle between two great teams, great players on both sides of the ball for both Detroit and Philly. If the Eagles rush defense, like if they can do what the Bills did when they played the Lions in just shutting Gibbs down, that could play, I feel like a pretty big role in the Eagles possibly winning this. The Eagles, I mentioned their defense, parts of their defense, but like they absolutely have one of the best total defenses, if not the best in the entire league. Their passing defense this year has been top notch. Now, the Lions passing defense, like that's what kind of worries me just a little bit. If you look at some of the Lions games, a lot of them have been games where they have put up like amazing numbers, but like the Bills game, Allen put 48 on him. 48. That kind of worries me, especially when the Lions, they haven't played the Eagles. Like this year, like this will be their first meeting. The Eagles coming in, um, like they could pull this off. Like the Lions, they have allowed an average of 244 passing yards this year. Even if the Lions stop Saquon, Hurts, like he can make some plays. Again, I know that I'm kind of going against what I said earlier with like the emotional pick, but the Eagles are too good to pass up here. I know it's not a very like popular choice. I know the Lions have been like the Cinderella story, but this is reality. Sometimes it doesn't always work that. Sorry, like it doesn't always work that way. Tom Brady, when he and his Patriots were one game away from the perfect season, going unbeaten, Manning and the Giants said, Drew Brees, when he took the Saints to the NFC Championship, and like you're right there, what happened? Like we all know what happened there in that game. And plus my Titans, what about us? I want to say that right now. Where was all this hype around us? We walked so the Lions can run. Okay. We were the one, we started all that. Like we had the former player as our head coach. We had Ryan Tannehill. We had like the comeback story. We had Derrick Henry. We had all that. And then like everyone's picking us to lose. Like, where was that? Where was that with the Lions? I don't know. It doesn't feel fair to me. So perhaps I'm picking a little bit out of spite, but hey, if I'm right, who cares? Give me the Eagles to win and advance to the Super Bowl. All right. Now here it is, Ravens and the Eagles. Now I know that this is probably a matchup that when fans think of their like Super Bowl matchup now with like the playoffs in place, this probably won't be their first or maybe even second choice. But I feel like it's one that could very well happen. These are two great teams, a battle of former Titans, in the Super Bowl. So again, like a big battle here. Two dual threat quarterbacks in Jackson and Hurts. So these two teams, they did face off before. pretty recently, back in week 13. So the Eagles won that game 24-19. So the scoreboard did say it was like a close contest, excuse me. And in that game, Barkley, he had over 100 yards rushing. Jackson, even though that he lost, he still had a great day. He had 237 passing, and he had two touchdowns. But just kind of breaking that down, after that first quarter, the Ravens, they were up 9. But then just from then on, honestly, like the Eagles and like their defense, they really showed out. They got a lot of touchdowns in there. And the Ravens, their final touchdown that they got came with like 3 seconds left. So at that point, it didn't really matter. So the Eagles, they pretty much had them for like the rest of that game. And again, like that came in week 13. So the Eagles game plan, like that one is pretty fresh. So with all that being said, plus because the fact that the Eagles, like this will be their second Super Bowl appearance in 3 years, I feel like this time they won't let that opportunity pass them by. And so with that being said, the team that I think will win this year's Lombardi Trophy is the Philadelphia Eagles. There it is. There it is. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Wow, it's cool. Nice little graphic there. See, again, NFL, like, why couldn't y'all have something like this? I don't know. I'm just saying. But fans, that is going to do it for this playoff prediction video. Thank you all so much for watching. Here is your cue. Go ahead. Type down in the comments how much of an idiot that I am. But hey, come next week, like, we are all going to be wrong about the playoffs. So, we might as well have fun with it. But fans, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, and you can join our Fanatic Army. And a honey salute to all of you as always. There it is. And I hope all of you have a fantastic day. Tighten up.